My name is Tom Robson. I enlisted in the Royal Navy at the age of 15 to serve for 15 years. My reason for choosing the Royal Navy was in respect of one of my brothers who was serving in the Royal Navy in submarines in World War II. While out on a mission, it was attacked and sunk by aircraft. Sadly, the plane was RAF in a case of mistaken identity. My first 12 months were to be sent to a boys' training establishment. I was not aware how these places were, so it was a matter of ignorance is bliss. It was soon made clear to me what life there was going to be. The discipline was brutal, and it was difficult to keep up with the training as I was so small. Time went by, and soon I had completed the course and was drafted to my first ship. I learned that boys' service actually started in early 19th century. There were in fact the first enrolment sailors. From that day they trained well and when suffered harsh treatment, including the birch. All boys' training ships were sent a signal when deciding what punishment would be needed. It read, "When authority has to be maintained over boy ratings, the perfect solution is a mixture of pain and humiliation, which would be dealt with by the birch up to a matter of 24 strokes. After training, they emerged as the most disciplined professional young seamen of any nation in the world." Punishment examples: 24 strokes of the birch for singing a rude song. For talking in church, 12 strokes of the birch. And for a wet bed, 10 strokes. After joining my ship, I then served 14 more years in all parts of the world in the service of the Royal Navy. Back in Civvy Street, I tried several employments. I joined the Royal Naval Association to keep in touch with the Navy news. While working within the RNA, I was upgraded to Life Member on the 21st of October, which of course is Trafalgar Day. After I had a car accident, I was classified as medically unfit to work. I decided then to write 2 books. A Lad from Durham, about the mining areas where poverty was still all around. Then, because of the history of boys' service had never been recorded in history books, I wrote the book Boy Seaman RN, The True Story. This covered their service from the beginning. This is the only book printed of the whole history of boy service. I then chose to write the story as a lecture and followed it with 5 more lectures. First was Boy Seaman John Travers Cornwall, the youngest winner of the Victoria Cross in the Navy at 16 years of age. He was serving on his first ship, HMS Chester, during the Battle of Jutland. This was the greatest sea battle in maritime history. 150 ships of the Royal Navy against 99 ships of the German High Command Navy. It was titled The Battle of Jutland. This was the greatest sea battle in maritime history. 150 ships of the Royal Navy against 99 ships of the German High Command. In 18 hours, over 12,000 men and boys were killed and many wounded. Admiral Jellicoe made a mistake that caused him to lose the command at the end of the battle. In a position to destroy most of the German fleet and claim victory, he gave orders to the fleet to turn away from the enemy to save lives, hoisting his flags to indicate the movement of the fleet to turn away to port, leaving the battle scene. Both sides still claimed a victory, and while the German fleet went back to Wilhelmshaven and never put to sea again, while the Royal Navy did carry on at sea. Later the German fleet surrendered and started scuttling their ships. Other lectures followed. Mutiny on the Bounty. Who was the real villain? How many were actually put on trial? How many were executed? And what were their last words? Many famous people served in the Royal Navy, but the most famous, I believe, was Captain Cook, Royal Navy, the most brilliant navigator in naval history. His charts are still now being used by all seafarers. he could have probably not been killed but for the cowardice of one of these officers. What was his name? My most intriguing lecture is full of shocking revelations. The title, The Yangtze Incident in April 1949. For many years, a British warship would be stationed in Nanking to watch over the embassy there of the United States, Canada, Britain and France. The communists under Mao Zedong were chasing the Republican Army and sent warnings to all ships to stay clear while they advanced. The incident was a situation that led to many losses of Royal Navy personnel. HMS Amethyst was attacked and stranded for 101 days before escaping. This is a story that takes a lot of time, so the length of the lecture has to cover 1 hour and 10 minutes. It will shock most people and will be the most talked about lecture on any cruise ship. I have given a pledge to the veterans of the incident that I will tell the British people the truth. The film, The Yangtze Incident, and the book were made before the facts were known. During my travels, I travelled all over the world. I received an award from the United States Navy and a brass emblem from the Mayor of Long Beach, California, and an Admiral's hat from the Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet in Hawaii. Thank you, and I look forward to meeting you all soon.